During the golden summer of Australia's Invincibles, Keith Miller wasn't merely playing cricket, he was redefining what a cricketer could be. And in doing so, he inspired an almost unthinkable question. Was the game's greatest match winner standing in Bradman's own dressing room? It sounds like heresy. Bradman finished with a test average of 99.94, a number so detached from the rest of cricket history that it's still treated as a statistical freak, roughly double what any other great batsman ever managed. Picking Bradman, by that logic, was like fitting two world-class batters into one place in the 11. But fans of that era made the case for something just as rare. If Bradman was worth two batters, they argued, Keith Miller was worth two players of an entirely different kind. A genuine international-class batsman and a genuine international-class bowler fused into a single man, occupying a single spot in the team. It's a bold claim. By the end of this film, the numbers will make it hard to argue with. And it starts with a very different kind of pressure. Michael Parkinson once asked Miller what it felt like out in the middle with a match on the line. Keith Miller looked at him like the question made no sense. "Pressure," he said, "is a Messerschmitt up your arse. Playing cricket is not." He wasn't being clever. He meant it. Because 3 years before he ever pulled on a baggy green, Keith Miller was flying a Mosquito fighter bomber over Germany at night, with men trying to kill him. Test cricket, after that, was never going to feel like life or death. And that single fact explains almost everything about the way he played the game. The freedom, the flair, the total refusal to treat batting averages like scripture. This is the story of the man most Australians still call their greatest all-rounder. Not the most productive, not the most disciplined, the greatest.
Despite the lingering feeling that he never quite had the drive and the hunger to pursue statistical milestones, Miller still finished with outstanding numbers, with a career batting average touching 37 and a bowling average of under 23.
Sid Barnes, his Australian teammate, accurately summarised Miller's sheer talent and his attitude to cricket. If Keith had had the same outlook as Bradman or Ponsford, he would have made colossal scores. He could, if he desired, have become the statistician's greatest customer. Miller perhaps fell short of becoming the statistician's greatest customer, but nevertheless, he visited them often enough, achieved significant numbers, and did it all with a flamboyance that was thrilling to watch. When he began his first-class career, he was a specialist batsman and a very occasional bowler. In the Test match arena, Miller's batting was his stronger suit in the early days. In the first 20% of his career, his batting average exceeded 54, and his bowling average was less than 21, though he only took 27 wickets in 11 matches. Thereafter, though, the batting fell away slightly, but the bowling remained lethal, as Miller formed a formidable combination with Ray Lindwall. In his last year and a half in international cricket, Miller's batting stats improved, but his bowling dropped off marginally. In his final 11 tests, the bat came back to life. His highest score, 147 against West Indies in Kingston, and his only 10-wicket match haul against England at Lord's, both arrived in this late flourish. That Lord's 10-fer made Miller one of only 3 overseas cricketers ever to have his name on the Lord's Honours Board for both batting and bowling, alongside Vinu Mankad and a young West Indian all-rounder named Gary Sobers. Between 1946 and 1956, only 5 bowlers in the world took more than 100 wickets at a lower average than Miller's 22.97. He wasn't just a gifted amateur with the ball. He was, by the numbers, one of the 2 or 3 best fast bowlers on the planet. Strip away the charm and the stories, and the numbers say something even more emphatic. Keith Miller won matches. Australia won 31 of the 55 tests Miller played. In those wins, he averaged 43.39 with the bat. 4 of his 7 centuries came in victories. In the 9 tests Australia lost, his average collapsed to 17, with a single half-century in 18 innings. With the ball, he was even more decisive. Miller is one of only 7 Australians to take more than 100 wickets at under 20 in Test victories, and all 7 of his 5-wicket hauls came in matches Australia won. He simply raised his game when it mattered, and did next to nothing when it didn't.
So when I used to go into bat and Keith was bowling, he didn't mind you hit him in for 1s and 2s, but he disliked intensely for you to hit him for 4. And this is what I once did at Sydney, and the next ball, it almost knocked my head off. And I'm lucky to be here to be able to tell the tale. I like to play against him. I think he was one of the most extraordinary cricketers of my time.